That was a great idea. Like just beds to get these fucking people out of tents on the street, like super cheap hotels or I don't know, but something to house people would be a wonderful way of doing it. But if there's no profit involved for somebody somewhere along the way, that's not happening.
What's that like right now? Like crime and stuff like that. Are you guys?
I mean, I'm seeing, yeah, I see all your guys' stuff because I follow a lot of you guys on Facebook and everything. It seems like it's much worse out there in terms of what's going on in your transportation systems. Like it seems like we're not getting stabbed in our transportation systems on a weekly basis.
That's good. That's a
That's
plus.
good.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Good place to
Maybe
be.
that's why we're more expensive.
Do you guys have
Maybe.
a subway system there?
Yeah, we got like a SkyTrain. It's not very good. We're working on it to get
SkyTrain.
it. Yeah, it's obviously up in the sky. It's
Okay, not
out of the
underground.
way.
But hold on, don't
Not
you guys have
underground.
East
Like
Hastings?
Some-
4 stops or something?
We clean that up. Like we more or less push
What?
them off the streets.
To
Through the
Where did they
crackheads,
go?
all the
Yeah,
East Hastings
All the-
people, where are they living?
I don't know. I haven't found them yet. There's a couple of spots. We had a place out in Maple Ridge too, which is in like 50 minutes out from town to like downtown too. And they had a huge tent city there, and they pushed them somewhere as well too.
Yeah.
So they're finding their way somewhere. I don't know, but
tent cities are
One-way tickets
not,
to California.
but they're not like the prices aren't changing. Like if you've got a tent city right there, like people will still buy your house. They'll be like,
yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
Well, you could convert
we-
office towers could be converted to like
thank
treatment
you
centers.
for
you
getting
know?
back to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we
So,
though? I don't know. Like at a
Skipped
good
right over
cost.
that.
Well, think about it. The problem with office conversion to residential is a million different things. But if you're just
Million.
going to be having a place for people like a shelter,
Beds.
treatment center, beds, hospice,
Washrooms.
things that are
The government-
necessary. Like again, this is all whether we think these problems are going to go away or they're
That
not
won't
right.
cause any
They're here
inflation.
and they're getting worse. If you don't solve
I mean-
them, if you don't come up with solutions, then they only get worse, right?
Yeah,
So
I guess. I mean, yeah. So the government buys those buildings basically from some people.
Dirt cheap 'cause it's-
penny on a dollar. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
nobody wants them.
Maybe not even dirt cheap because it's going to be from like their buddies. Probably they're going to pay them like good money for their building, and we're going to turn it into this.
Yeah.
They're
Your
not
brother's
giving.
company gets to do the renovations.
Yeah, and
What's
then
another $1 trillion? Like that's not
Yeah.
a big deal. right?
What's the difference? And if we get caught, like nothing happens. So like, let's just fucking go, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a whole scandal about real estate and Trudeau, and like, did anything come of that? We talked about it for like 3 weeks, and then that was it. Remember with the what was it called? Not We Work, We something. We
yeah.
Charity. Remember I
Yeah,
Charity,
yeah.
We Charity. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
you don't even fucking know. They fucking
remember
On to the
that.
next one.
stole
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
of our money, and nobody even gives a
It's
shit.
like only
at
like
all.
60 billion.
The
It was
hell's
not a big
going
deal.
on here?
Whatever, right? It's a
Whatever.
small
It's
line.
only another 70 million. But hold
Yeah.
on a sec. You touched on something very important, TK, and I
Mm.
was trying to get to it before. And maybe it doesn't happen in Vancouver because they don't seem to care. They're just busy like rinsing money
Snowboarding.
all day and snowboarding and doing mushrooms. But here, we need to figure out how to use all these offices, because if it's 17.5% now, imagine what it's going to be in 6 months from now. Okay. Because I don't see like the business environment getting better as rates are going up or maybe stabilizing. Will it? So even if it just stays relatively close to what it is, we're not going to absorb what we have because there's more coming online for sure. Because every day, something comes online. So how? That was a great idea. Like just beds to get these fucking people out of tents on the street, like super cheap hotels or I don't know, but something to house people would be a wonderful way of doing it. But if there's no profit involved for somebody somewhere along the way, that's not happening.
It'll be taxpayer funded.
Taxpayer funded, which is really bad, like
Mhm.
really bad, because that creates more taxes, which creates more inflation, right? And we're trying to stop inflation. How the fuck are we ever supposed to stay in the 2 to 3% zone? Well, they're jacking up rates and pumping the money, the system full of money, and Galen Weston's out there going, if we just add another 30 cents to everything, nobody's gonna fucking say anything.
Slap
right?
a yellow
Every
sticker
day.
on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'll just buy up every grocery store. He has like one button up 5% across the board everywhere, every day. Boom.
Everything's
boom.
digitized.
But like, this is the world we're living in. And meanwhile, like, I know you, I think from TikTok, maybe from Twitter, but like the generation, I don't know how old you are. You look way younger than TK. So you might be my age. So but like this, our younger generation, right? Like we're fed up, aren't we? Like people are talking about it all the time. All I'm seeing is videos of kids going, I can't afford medicine. I can't afford rent. I can't afford food. I can't afford to go out. I can't afford this iWatch. I can't afford this phone I'm recording on, the why. But like people are really starting to piss and moan about things, and not even just like the poor people, right? Like kids that grew up in money are feeling different. Okay. Everybody's feeling different right now. How are we ever going to get out of this, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I did a video on the TikTok, and it was 100K a year with 5% down only gets you, like a $400,000 purchase price. That's nothing in Vancouver, right? You're not finding anything in Vancouver for that.
It's barely
And
something
100K
in Saskatchewan.
And 100K a year, like I remember growing up being like, holy crap, like that's a lot of damn money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
was that your video? The 6 figures thing was like a lot of money back in the day, right?
Yeah, that might have been. Yeah.
Yeah. We grew up aspiring to make 6 figures. If you made 7 figures, what?
Yeah.
7 figures? That doesn't even go on my calculator.
Yeah. Now it's now 100K, just single person, right? But like, yeah, you're not going to be able to purchase anything.
Yeah. But if you make minimum wage and work full time, with 2 people, you don't make 100K.
No,
right?
Not at all.
No.
So like, and you got to live in a bachelor probably because it's in your price point, right?
Mm-hmm.
What
yeah, but like TK said, right? More people are, I think, more moving to more of a renter's economy, and that's just there's good places in the world that are like that have higher ownership percent or lower ownership percentage, right? There's still good places in the world that do it, so it's not like it's a bad thing.
No, but generally there's like an incentive to rent instead of buy, but now there's none.
But there's also a huge, there's an obstacle that people have is what they do is they look at their income and they go, wow, look at this great job that I'm going to get. I'm going to make $90,000 a year. I'm 25 years old. This is so exciting. I'm going to be working downtown. And then they factor in all their expenses and their entertainment.
I can afford
everything. Like they say, oh, well, this is going to be worth it for me. And then they suffer and they struggle. Where if they just looked and said, okay, maybe I'll get a job for $65,000 a year, but I'm going to live in Barrie or like an hour outside the city where I can visit my friends and family, occasionally. But for the most part, it decreased the cost of living by, substantially more than what the decrease in income will be. Right. Mm-hmm. But they don't make the right decisions, which is, again, a very strong point that I have is because I'm seeing so many people make poor decisions. They make poor financial decisions. They're not responsible enough to manage their own money. They're not responsible enough to see their own future. They don't have any financial education. They're trying to make, they've been suckered into this position because they could always refinance out. They could always borrow their way out. The real estate market made them look like geniuses. They always just kind of, we're able to get by over the last 30 years. And we got to some people have to be punished per se. Like they have to be sort of put back on track so that our kids can have a better mentality.
Oh, right? You did it again, I think, TK. Punished. What the fuck? You think a bunch of people need to be punished because the Bank of Canada gets to go?
Look, what I'm saying is if you made a bad financial decision and you learn from it, 10 years from now, you'll come up better. You've always talked about this, Daryl. I think the best thing someone could happen to them would be a financial disaster. Because it's better than when you get to 60 and then you find out that you didn't manage your retirement properly.
But if you're an over leveraged speculator, then fine. Okay. Like maybe you got yours, but if you're just a normal guy who had an $80,000 a year job and you were like, I can afford this. I got a 5-year mortgage at 2.99% or 2.75% or 3.2%. And now you're at 7%. And, we want you to learn how to use this Chat GPT thing here at work so that you can train it to do your job for us. And guess what? If you have half a brain, you're like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be out of a job soon. And you know what? The guy giving you the mortgage is like, the guy's a copywriter. This guy won't be working in 6 months. Okay. Or he's in a restaurant and there's a pandemic again, or there's so many things that you're going to be fucked in if you're doing right now, because there won't be a job for you next year. Because eventually they're going to destroy the jobs. Like this is the goal. No? Am I missing something?
I understand, but I'm trying to be very clear, I guess, and what I'm trying to say is that people need to have some accountability and responsibility, and to be able to be held responsible for their decisions, and that you are responsible to take care of yourself at the end of the day. So some people are in a bad position. I know, but
If you're making investments, you have to be okay.
You got to
with
go
losing
out,
those.
you got to get that second job. You
Investments,
got to
yeah.
work hard to build a business. You got to do all those things. And there needs to be a little bit more. I'm not saying that this should be 100% because there's a lot of people who are vulnerable and they need help, but there needs to be more of this so that people make better decisions, so that we don't have a bunch of soft, handout people
Participation
waiting
ribbons.
for us on East Hastings in the next 10 years, living in a tent. If we keep going in this direction, that's where it'll be.
Well, I mean, we are going in this direction. There's no stopping it. This is a crazy train.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our clips channel. Why don't you go and check out some more clips? We got lots of other good content somewhere over here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Boom.
That was good.
That was good.
I like that. That was good.